You just wrapped up mandatory minicamp. Before we talk about what happened on the field out there in Ashburn, you have about a 5.5 or 6 week break until training camp. I need to know how many rounds of golf you're going to fit in and where's the family vacay spot, because you have to get that in before training camp starts, because once that starts and the season starts, there's no free time.
No doubt, you got that right.
Yep.
I see. I'd say I'll probably get about 8 to 10. Probably nothing crazy.
Okay.
A lot of it will come when I'm on vacation.
Okay.
But we were going to Ocean Isle for one of my buddies. He's getting married on July 4th, but we're staying for the entire week. You might as well. We're on the beach. And then I'm going to that tight end U in Nashville, and me and the wife are going to make a little trip out of it as well. So. I got 2 little things that we got going on.
I can't remember the last time we had you on. I know that you've been quoted saying you kind of think that Tebow can make this transition. Can you give our audience your thought? Maybe I'm wrong about that. Can you give our audience your thoughts on sort of Tebow? I know a lot of players. Clearly, he's been given this opportunity because of his relationship with Urban Meyer. I'm sure there are tons of guys out there that have the ability to also do this. But if given the opportunity, do you think Tebow can actually make a roster and provide them something?
A guy like that, he's very multiple, and he's already played, special teams prior, about, being the PP on punt team and running down. So that gives him a leg up in being able to play special teams. But, I haven't seen him play the position. Mm-hmm. I'd imagine he's an athlete. He should be able to pick it up pretty well. He's smart. He cares. Like, the playbook should be no problem. Now, whether or not he wants to stick his face in there is a different story. Now, that's a different monster, and you got to go up against guys with pads on. So I'm interested to see how he looks in the preseason. Now, I do think he can do it, but we'll see how it goes, because it takes a little bit of time to get used to the position. A year and a half, 2 years.
I would think, like, they have this guy, or whatever, who's this athletic freak, but never really played football before. I would think when the real bullets are flying and he's crossing the field, that's going to be an eye-opener for him, right? At least Tebow understands that. It's been hit before. I mean, Tebow was a physical quarterback, right? I would wonder, how is Reyes making this transition? I mean, he seems like he's got his heart in the right place. He's working hard. He's got his girlfriend quizzing him at home. We all see the athleticism that he has. Can he make this transition?
Yeah, Sam is doing a great job. He's way ahead of where I thought he would ever be in OTAs or minicamp. And, I'm proud of the effort that he's putting in, because it's obvious that he's doing his diligence in the playbook. Because right now in OTAs, that's really what it was down to, is like figuring out the X's and O's, and then we can see if you can bang in training camp. So, but he's strong, he's athletic, he's got a good feel in the pass game, which is. In the pass game, you just got to have feel for the most part. So I don't see any reason why he won't make the transition. Like I said, it's about a year and a half, 2-year process until I got really comfortable. I'd imagine it's probably the same for him, but based off of his size and speed, there's no reason he shouldn't be able to make splash plays early on in his career too.
Do you make anything of what we're reading that Heinicke's really been performing well and it's on some level maybe outperforming Fitz? Now, in Fitz's defense, we've read that Fitz is saying, hey, look, I'm not trying to stats, earn guys and that sort of thing. So maybe that's what's going on. But how would you characterize the 2 quarterbacks and how they performed?
Hey, both the guys have actually done a great job. Obviously, Taylor, he's been in the system for, 5 years or whatever it is, so he's definitely more comfortable in running the system, and Fitz is learning the system, and like you said, learning the players, learning the guys, and what people like and what people don't like, and, just trying to figure out what's going on instead of Taylor just knowing, all right, this is my read here, boom, boom, all right, check it down. So Fitz will be just fine. Taylor's played great, Kyle's played great, and Fitz is he's coming along. So I think it's one of those things that, Ron said yesterday, I guess it's going to be a training camp battle. I guess it's going to be a training camp battle, but I wouldn't have any reason to doubt any of the 3. I think all 3 are going to do well, and I'm excited to see what we have this season.
I mean, I don't know how you feel, but I think that Fitz will be the #1 starter. And some people feel differently, but I think he'll be the guy. Can you say if you think Heinicke will be the #2, or will he be the 3 behind Allen?
Shoot, obviously that's above my pay grade.
Right. Okay.
I think the way it's listed right now is the way they feel comfortable with it. Especially with Kyle coming off of injury, not really knowing, a couple of hits or a couple of cuts. Right now, I feel like, we're going into training camp 1, 2, 3 the way they expected and the way they kind of want it. So, obviously all that will play itself out come August. But, whatever it is, I played with 4 different of them last year. I'm going to play the exact same I did last year this year. So
right.
I can figure out pretty much anybody.
Who are some of the other younger guys or newer guys that have impressed you, offensively or defensively?
Yeah, yesterday Diami played his butt off, and one guy I'm super proud of who's come back from last year, who didn't probably have the greatest year or the year that he wanted to have as a rookie, is AGG. The guys made play after play after play this week and last week, just one-handed catches, tough catches, contested catches, and for him to build confidence in that frame that he has, that body he has, and I hope he continues to take off. Another guy on the opposite side of the ball, the St-Juste kid, he's a baller. He doesn't know he's good yet, but he's going to be good. And I'm excited to see how he grows in the next couple of years. And Jamin's starting to come around. He's starting to play well and starting to get a better understanding. He's being able to read off of his D-line, and obviously his speed is going to make up for a lot of mistakes that anybody else makes or himself makes. So I'm really proud of the way the guys are playing. Defensively, man, they're tough. They're after the ball, blitzes, coverage. They're just letting the front 4 rush, and it's tough to go against them in practice, but you love having it on your side.
Joined by Logan Thomas, Washington football team tight end on the BetQL guest hotline. A lot of fans were losing their minds when Chase Young skipped some of the earlier practices. He was there for the mandatory minicamp. How did he look? I'm guessing he looks pretty good despite missing the practices earlier.
My question is why is everybody making a big stink about it? They're not mandatory. The guy's the reigning defensive, rookie of the year. The guy's going to be in shape. You can see who he is. That's what he is. He's fine. Nobody's worried about it. We knew that he was going to be there when it mattered. I don't care what he does until, August rolls around. When it's Sunday, you better be strapped up, ready to go and get that quarterback. I care less what you're doing in your free time as long as you're staying healthy and safe.
Right. Did he say, was it because he had just had a bunch of obligations? I guess it doesn't even matter to you, right, from your perspective?
Yeah, I didn't ask because I didn't care. As long as he's there when it matters.
Right. How much better is this team than last year's team? Because on paper, Logan, it seems dramatically better.
I think there's definitely a different feel and a different vibe around this team, too. I mean, we know defense got better. I mean, defense are better than it was last year on every game. It's just depending on what the offense does. And obviously we added some pieces on offense that allow us to score more points. And so if we do that, I mean, you have a top 10 offense, hopefully, and, a top 5 defense. That's usually a recipe for a good season. So now it's just depending on if we just go out there and commit to it and play like it.
Hey, Logan, are you okay playing the extra regular season game? Would you rather have the extra regular season game and cut the preseason down, or do you just want to see 16 games and still cut the preseason down? How do you feel about that?
I think it's just the norm that we've had 16 games, especially in my whole career, but for most of NFL life, and I think everybody's kind of come accustomed to it. I understand why the one side wanted the 17th game. And then, obviously, I think people can understand why we want less preseason games. So, for me, I would have loved to see it stay in the 16, just because of history, how stats and stuff were done for years and years. I wish it would have stayed at 16, but, I'm a player. I don't care. I'll go play in the backyard in the street if I have to for 20 games. But it's just one of those things that you kind of learn to adjust and adapt in the NFL. It's another thing that I'll learn to adjust and adapt to. And, it'd be nice I'm excited for the preseason. I'm excited to see what some of these young guys do and how they grow and how they get better.
Logan, give me the minicamp skinny on De'Ami Brown, the speedster wideout who was drafted out of North Carolina. And do you like my over-under pick on him for his rookie campaign under 29.5 grabs in the offense? I don't know if I'm on the right side or not. I'm probably on the wrong side. Just because there's a lot of mouths to feed on the offense now.
I'm not giving any over-under updates or anything because I'm not going to be the guy that say, hey, you told me, but I'm excited to see what he does too because he's young, he's raw, and like you said, he's got a lot of speed, and you can't coach speed, you can't teach speed, and when you have a guy like that, you usually want to get it on the field and see what it does. So, I'm not sure yet. We just went through, we weren't game planning anything, we weren't scheming up anything. We were just kind of letting the guys go out there and play, learn the system. So I think training camp will give us all a better feel for that. But the kid can play, and you better be ready to turn and run when he's out there.
Who last year, I think you were arguably the breakout player offensively. Who's going to be the breakout offensive player this year?
You see, I don't know what it's going to be. I mean, we got a lot of guys that can make plays. I mean, obviously you got Terry, you got Curtis, you got myself, and then you got Gibson and McKissick back there. But I think we got a couple of young guys that can make some splashes. I think Humphreys, obviously not young, but I think Humphreys is going to make some plays for us. And then you got the guys I've talked about, De'Ami Brown and AGG. I'm not sure, how they're going to be or how much they'll play, but these guys can make plays. They make plays on the ball, and if something happens to one of the top dogs and they get a chance, maybe they're the guys that break out. But you just never know. That's the thing about our offense is anybody can make play at any time, and if you get put in the opportunity to make it, we need to make it.
Do you feel like are we going to see a more diverse offense from Scott Turner now that he has more weapons, that he has more toys?
I think that's any offensive coordinator, but yeah, I think we'll see some different things, especially with the two guys that we have on the outside and the speed they have and the talent they have. I think you can do more things with that. I think with the stable that we have in our backfield, you can do more things with that as well. And with guys like myself and then Hump in the slot, man, I think we can just be a little bit different than and kind of be game plan specific of how we want to attack defenses because, I think we got people on every level that can make plays.
Do you realize now that, especially with fantasy football fans, there are expectations for Logan Thomas this year,
yep,
especially since Fitz will be slinging it, and you put up those numbers last year in an offense where you had four different quarterbacks. Obviously, Alex had his injury issues. Do you feel the expectations amongst fans here locally?
Yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it once or twice, and honestly, not fantasy football wise, but just life wise, I expect a lot out of myself as well. And I think for us to have a good season, I got to play well, and I got to make some plays as well. And I guess that leads to stats for fantasy football, and so I guess those people would be happy if I play well. And I'm sure I'll be getting all the text messages, or not text messages, but DMs if I don't play well. So I guess we'll see when the time comes. But yeah, I have big expectations, not only for myself but for this offense and what we can do. Especially building off of last year.
By the way, I so regret not taking a late flyer on Logan in my high-stakes league. I wasted a pick on Zach Ertz early. He was just a total dud. I could have had Logan in like the 15th round. Give me big numbers. I'm sorry, Logan. I apologize.
Right.
I apologize for that.
I understand off of my, before last year's body of work. It's, it was a shaky situation. You didn't know what was going to happen, but for the ones who ended up getting me off the waiver wire or late in the draft, just took a flyer on me. It worked out.
I should have. I'm stupid.
Hey,
I'm just
Logan,
a stupid person.
Real quick, I know you love to watch the PGA Tour. I took Tyrrell Hatton in one of my pools. I've got the worst luck in this one pool. I guarantee you Tyrrell Hatton will win next week. He'll probably win the Open. Every time I take a guy, he can't make a 4-foot putt. I mean, it's unbelievable. What was that?
You sound like me in my pools.
Oh, my God. I got the worst luck in it. Every time I take a guy, he either misses the cut or he finishes 42nd because he can't make a putt. And then the next week, he balls. So
Yep, that sounds a lot like me, man. I feel your pain. I feel your pain.
Hey, Logan, we got to run. We know you have to as well. Enjoy the time off, and we'll talk to you again soon.
No, thanks for having me, guys. It's good talking to y'all. Y'all take care of yourselves.
All right, you too, buddy.
That's Logan Thomas, Washington football team tight end, and one of Valdez's golfing buddies.
Where did he say he was going on vacation?
I think he said at Ocean Isle Beach in North Carolina.
Oh, okay.
It's like a nice spot. Valdez, maybe we'll do some post-show scouting.
I am a little nervous because next week I'm out of town.
Yeah.
I'm heading down to North Carolina, play some golf.
Good.
And so Logan's trying to play next week as well, and I told him I'm out of town.
Okay.
And then
someone's going to jump in and he's going to Wally Pip you.
So he asked me, you know, can you send me Scott's number over at River Creek?
Oh, then you'll be out of the mix.
I'm worried that I'm going to be iced out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out of the group. I had my run.
Yep.
You did.
It was
You're
fun
getting Wally pipped. Maybe you should cancel your whole vacation.
Fun while it lasted, Valdez.
And he's only saying that because he's hoping Scotty Seville texts him and goes, dude, you're good. Anytime you want to play.
He's playing the long game over there.
I know your game.
Yeah.